state in California, was very blessed in some ways, and I was put into an interesting position as a young kid, right? Having both of my parents fighting since the moment I was born. Not because of me. It's not because I came out and they're like, oh, we gotta fight because of this kid. But finances was their biggest challenge, and finances is one of the biggest causes for divorce. But that's what I grew up in. Like very, very young, me and my older sister would every single day be in a very toxic household where there was yelling, there was screaming, there was Chinese cuss words that I didn't understand. And I had to grow up really, really quickly. And learning at around 10 or 11 years old, I got my first computer. I learned how to sell candy and toys on the street, and I got to have my first computer. I was very blessed for that. And I learned technology and I learned online business very, very, very early. And so, fast forward being around 16, studying, learning, and trying to figure out what to do with my life was at the height of my parents' divorce. And it was at the time where I felt like I needed to get me and my mom and my sister to another place. Um, and that is kind of the wall that I felt around that time was I needed to get out. I needed to figure something out or else I would not have a home. And when you're 16, you just have no idea what life is. It's like what am I doing? And finding real estate after reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, was kind of that holy grail for me of like, whoa, there's another way. There's another way to get out of this. I don't have to repeat what my parents went through. I I can get rich. I can be successful and go through that whole process. And so going through that rabbit hole, that day that I understood that I could change my path was the day that everything changed for me. Every single habit changed, every single thought pattern changed. And it didn't happen overnight. It was every single day reading. And when you find a different path for yourself, you take every note possible. Every note of what can I do? What can I do next? How do I make a call? How do I understand these concepts? And so every single day it was that. It was how do I meet the right people? How do I connect with the right people? Fast forward, I went to my first ever real estate event after having done my first wholesale deal, and I met Andrew. And this was a life-changing moment for me, having met someone that believed in me and that saw light and that saw potential. Because to be honest, I was the only one that really saw potential in myself, and no one else was showing that. But the moment I met Andrew, his mind was always, dude, you're gonna crush it. You're gonna crush. You're gonna do so well in this business. And to be honest, Andrew, I don't always tell you this, but that gave me the permission to crush it.
Mm.
And so that's what I did. I changed my thoughts of like, oh, I don't know if I can do this too. Andrew says I can crush it, so I'm gonna crush it. And I'm gonna make sure every single day I crush it. And that's what I did over the past 5 years. Me and Andrew, by the grace of God, we connected and started running a business together. We jumped into real estate. You helped me with my first creative finance deals. And after that, we continued growing. We did an Airbnb together. 2 years later, we started an education company because I wanted to do for others what you did for me, which is just give them the fundamentals, give them the belief, give them the pathway to win. Fast forward a few more years later, we've had hundreds of students who do deals, who crush it. And this is what we love to do every single day. And so, Andrew, I just thank you for that.
Thank you, brother. I think something that you guys are going to see here, and often people ask us, like, how do, because type it in the chat, accountability. People often ask me, how do I have a brotherhood like you and Leo have? Or how do I build a partnership like you guys have been able to do? And there's something that I think is going to be very powerful for every one of you, and that is who we become. Something I used to focus on doing was just doing. except while doing is vital. And we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be calling sellers. We're gonna be breaking down. Tomorrow I'm diving in. Today is about AI, but tomorrow I dive in to picking your market if you're needing to pick your market and haven't already done so. And I dive into how to get unlimited free leads. By the end of tomorrow, you guys who follow the instructions will have free leads. And every day builds on the day before, except I focus more on becoming now. Type it in the chat, becoming. I focus more on becoming than the doing because this business and this life is all about becoming. And something that you guys know who know me is how, and I think this is powerful to share because Leo is sharing from his perspective what happened in his life over the time. Except what he didn't know at the time was the transformation he was making in my life through our brotherhood, my ability to hold myself accountable. And at the time, I was very negative in my mind. I was going through a lot of very tough things in life. And it's in that period that I was inspired to wake up every day going, thank you, God. Because just like iron sharpens iron, so one brother sharpens another. And I think that's a powerful thing for everyone here is to understand what you need in accountability, how to become the man or the woman, the leader, the person that you want to be. Think of something you're really good at. Some of you, it is being a parent. Some of you are parents. You've got kids you're very proud of, and you're a great mother or father. Some of you, it's being a great son or daughter. Some of you, it's being a great spouse. Some of you are very proficient in your line of work, CPA or doctor or attorney or all of the different things we have represented here, your trade. Maybe you're a tradesman. I grew up doing construction and doing plumbing and electrical and all those things. And you're proficient at that. You step into your superpower. Except how do we take that same man or woman you are in the places you're proficient and plug that into the places where you're not yet proficient? Because you're stepping out of a place where maybe you're at college level and knowing what's going on, and you're stepping into a place where you're going, some of you are going, crap, how do I do this creative financing thing and build a 7-figure portfolio? Some of you are going, how do I just get my first freaking contract? And so wherever you are on the spectrum, it's about becoming, because the person that you're meant to be, the person who runs that 7-figure business, what would they do right now? How would they wake up this morning? What would the first words out of their mouth be? How would they call the seller? Becoming, overdoing. So thank you for that, Leo.
The Bible talks about stepping into your new self, ridding of your old self. And I think every single day, including today, is an absolute opportunity to do that. It is understanding what type of man or woman or leader or operator do we want to become? Because once we lay that out there, the traits of that operator, I want to be a confident operator. I want to be so diligent with my work. I want to be disciplined. I want to be a fantastic leader. We know that that is an endeavor of who you want to become. But then we ask ourselves, who are we now and what is the gap in between? Because that is the transformation that allows us to step into that new self. Because I don't want you to miss what Andrew just said. What would that great operator do? What would that future version of you do? Could you do that today? What version of you is showing up today on this Zoom?
Mm,
What version of you is showing up on the calls? And I'll ask one more question. What version of you is doing deals consistently and having the freedom that you want?
mm,
That's the version we need to step into today. That's the version every single morning over these next 12 days. And ideally, way past that, we step up and we say, this is who I'm becoming, and this is who I'm going to show up as today. And you do that long enough, and the habits start to pick up, and the thought patterns start to pick up. We take captive of every thought and ask ourselves, what should I be thinking right now if I was that operator? Make that call. Take that note. Let's go. Let's make it happen. I'm excited. I'm rolling. I'm grateful. I'm grateful today. I know I got a bunch of things happening. I know that in the beginning of this call, Andrew and I were struggling to get on because the tech failed. But how would the future version of Leo think? How would the great operator of Leo think? Oh, it's fine. Let's rock and roll. Let's make it happen. Andrew's here. That's all we need. I want you to take captive of every thought, step into that new self, and I promise you, you're going to experience a massive shift that is going to change your life.
Something that I want to break down for everyone who's here. Um, what allowed me over the last 12 years to buy over 500 deals? What has allowed me to be able to buy a 66 unit mobile home park? What's allowed us to buy land and developments and projects and do a lot of things, and now to lead an incredible community of other winners and action takers, is being able to consistently do the thing that we need to do. I'm going to be sharing with you how to find leads, how to negotiate deals, how to close deals, how to structure deals. There's only two ways to structure deals. Type it in the chat. The first one is cash up front. Second, payments over time. Cash up front, payment over time. And so I share this because somebody asked me a while back, they said, Andrew, how many ways do you use to structure deals? And I was like, is this a trick question? They're like, well, no, I was listening to this guy and he said there's like 783 ways and he's going to give me a PDF of all these ways. I said, God bless you. Enjoy the download. But I'm telling you, as unsexy as it may sound, I structure them two ways. And the phone goes silent for a while. And he goes, two ways? How's that? I said, I'm just a country boy. I was raised in a town of 400 people and I like to simplify things. I either A, buy on payments. The seller is the bank. I don't care if it has a debt. 60% of houses now do. There's 140 million houses in the US. I'll geek out on numbers later. And 60% of houses have a debt. A lot of them at 2 and 3% interest. By the way, who here would like us to show you how to gather a few $1,000,000 of 2 and 3% interest debt over the next year? If it can make you way more than it's costing you. Yes, because as people of wealth, give me the yeses, keep them coming. As people of wealth, we don't ask what it costs us, we ask what it can make us. And so it doesn't matter whether it has a debt or it doesn't, we buy it on payments. Then the terms is what matters. Or we buy it with cash up front. And if so, we get a great big discount. It can be your cash, partner cash, shoot, mine and Leo's cash, business credit lines cash, doesn't matter. So how do we plug this knowledge in? Okay, I want to share this with you because as you're showing up here on the 12 deals of Christmas, it is all about getting you deals. And for those of you who know us, you already have a level of trust. And I am grateful that you showed up and put your confidence in us. I'm telling you, over these next 12 days, you are going to be shocked at your transformation when you do the homework. For those of you who don't yet know us, my prayer is that you can find the connection going, this makes perfect sense what these guys are saying, and that you stick around and say, you know what, I am going to figure out how to put in these actions. Let me just try it. Let me see if this feels right to me. Tomorrow when they give me the homework of getting free leads, let me just go try. It will take me every bit of 7 minutes to do. Who here is willing to risk 7 minutes of your time to potentially get a 5-figure paycheck? Yes or yes. All right. If you're not, I have nothing for you. Okay. The answer is yes. Now, as we do that, there's a journey, because I don't just want it to be a 5-figure paycheck. I don't just want it to be a contract. I want you to be prepared because stuff will go wrong. I've been a part of those seminars. Thank God for them, because that's what got me started in real estate, but where they only tell you the good side. And forgive me, but I'll share the good, the bad, the ugly. Some of your contracts are going to fall through. Some seller is going to be angry at you and cuss you out at some point. The business, I guarantee you, you probably will quit a few times in your first few months. If you're experienced, you're saying amen already. You're going, I did. I get it. Because not everything goes as planned. If every seller you talk to was a yes and every contract went through and turned to a check, that wouldn't be business. That wouldn't be reality. And so how do we live the life and become the person who just does the actions to create a certain result? What's the mindset behind that?
Andrew, I think before we go into anything else, I want to make sure we set the stage for what the strategy is. Because
Mm,
there's hundreds of strategies we can do.
yeah.
But what is the one strategy we're going to have them focus on to get minimum across all of us 12 deals in the next 12 days? What is the
Yes.
strategy?
Right now, as we're live across the various places, I just want to shout you guys out. There's right now, it looks like active on 138 people, 138 of you. So thank you guys for coming and hanging out, spending day one with us of the 12 deals of Christmas. The strategy we are going to be used, type it in the chat, is BOFSLO. Boslo. BOFSLO. What is BOFSLO? BOFSLO is buy on under finance, sell and lease option. Now, some of you, you're experienced, you've been around, you know this game. You go, oh, that makes sense. Cool. For you who already know the strategy, you're going to not only learn how to get free leads. Some of you came from our friends who have the company called iSpeed to Lead, and you're going, I'm already getting paid leads. Just help me close more and better. Some of you guys are using other paid lead sources, pay-per lead services, pay-per-click, mailing companies, all sorts of ways to get sellers, motivated sellers. And we talk about that. We're going to be talking about that throughout this 12 days. But buy on owner finance, sell and lease option is a way that, number one, new people can start to acquire wealth and build a portfolio. Is a way, number two, that experienced people, even if you've bought a portfolio, even if you own some houses or you fix and flipped or you're wholesaling some, it's a way that by adding this tool to your tool belt, it will greatly increase your tools. It will greatly increase your close rate. It will greatly increase your impact. Why? Because understand, who was it said, if you only have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. And I share that because sometimes, construction background, sometimes we have a screw and a screw gun because it's going to hold better. Sometimes you use a hammer and nail. Sometimes you have a nail gun. And there's different tools and a saw, a circular saw. There's a jigsaw there if you want to make the beautiful little woodworking things. And so there's all of these different tools. And my prayer over these next 12 days is that we continue to add tools to your tool belt for you to build the portfolio you desire that serves your growth. Because I see so many people get into this business and they get a deal or they get a couple of deals, and before long, they've just built themselves another job, another higher paying job, but it sucks up their entire life. You can get into this business to suck up your entire life. We all know that investor or investors that you've met somewhere who drive around in their work truck with a work belt and are always taking 12 a.m. midnight calls and 1 a.m. calls from their tenants, clogging toilets or dealing with leaky sinks or problems. And I was that person. I had a 12 unit apartment I managed, and I had a 66 unit mobile home park I managed. Then I had another multiple dozens of single family houses I managed. And I was that guy driving around the truck collecting rent until one day I get a call. It's 1:30 a.m. and one of the tenants had my cell phone that was in the mobile home community, and I get a call and it's like it's 1:30. I wake up, I see my phone. I'm like, what the heck? It's 1:30. I'm not answering that. Again, second time, third time, I'm like, I'm already awake. And I answer the phone, and this lady goes, "Hey, Andrew." And I said, "Hello." She goes, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did I wake you up?" And I'm like, it's okay. I had to get up to answer the phone anyway. My sense of humor. Sometimes my jokes are only for me, as I'm sure the virtual room is now filled with laughter. So I'm like, I had to get up to answer the phone anyway. How can I help you? And she goes, um, your park is on fire. And I'm like, well, crap. That doesn't sound good. At the time, I lived in Evansville, Indiana, so I got my butt out of bed and I hopped in the car and I drive out to the cold morning by now, 2 a.m. or so. By the time I pull up there, there's fire trucks, there's policemen, there's lights everywhere, there's water everywhere. They've put out the fire by now. And I feel important. I drove out there. And as I'm now pulling up at the mobile home community, and the fireman comes over to talk to me, the policeman come over to talk to me, The lady who called me had ran a drop cord from her mobile home out to an outbuilding to turn on an electric heater for homeless people that had made their way into the trailer park. Interesting. And so that drop cord had caught on fire. And then, as you can imagine, wobbly boxes burn really fast. And so now there's a whole fire and the park starts to go up in flames. And I leave there and I go back to sleep. And the next morning I wake up and I'm going, thankfully, nobody was hurt. Wait, why did I go out there? Was I actually needed? Would have the fire trucks put out the fire the same way if I wasn't there? Absolutely. Type it in the chat. The actions you take determine the money you make. The actions you take determine the money you make. Something that we done here and are doing here, and the reason that this is through the end of the year is because I don't just want this to be a cool place you show up and get information. I want this to be a rep that you put in. I want this to be a habit that you build. Type in the chat, habits. The habit that you build. Good to see you, Sylvia. Valerie. What's up, Devin? Something that we're doing here is we're building your habits with you. You go, gosh, for every day for 12 days, I showed up and I done a call afterwards. Every day for 12 days, I showed up and I found houses for sale. Starting tomorrow, I'm going to have you to do that every single day. Go get free leads. Some of you are experienced. It's time to start buying some leads. And every single day, well, gosh, if I could do that every day for 12 days, why not for 24? When Leo kicked my butt, got me to start going to the gym, see, number one was I didn't have clarity. I had a gym membership for a long time, Leo, before that happened. I went to the gym once to Planet Fitness. I grew up, my workout was baling hay. I was raised on a farm in the country in Southern Illinois. And so I didn't, never been to a gym until my adult life. So I got a membership because I'm like, I'm doing calls, I'm putting on some weight, I'm doing this business, I should get a gym membership. And I remember going to the gym one day and I'm like, what do I do with all these machines? And if you've been to the gym some, it's probably sounds stupid. You're like, well, duh, just go like start doing stuff with the machines. And I'm like, but there's a lot of machines. What machines am I supposed to use? I can't hit all these in the same day. I was lost. And it sounds, again, ridiculous talking about it, but it didn't at the time. I go lay down on one of the benches and I'm like, this is stupid. I don't know what I'm doing here. I had on dress shoes and jeans and a button up shirt. I didn't even have gym clothes. True story, by the way. This is many years ago. And so I go there and I realize I'm not a fit there. I don't know what to do there. Sometimes you show up, you're new to the business, or maybe you had some experience in the business, but it's uncomfortable. You've got these guys getting you to take some different action to start getting free leads. And you begin to realize, wait a minute, I ain't yet a fit here. That's okay. Leo got me to the gym. He talked me into getting some gym clothes, and he became my accountability brother for a few days. And after we were together for about 10 days of accountability, I was able to go to the gym by myself and put in an action. I didn't work out as proficiently as when Leo was giving me a guided workout plan, but I was able to keep the objective up. Except that's how our brotherhood is in all aspects, in leadership, in growth, is there's accountability. And that's what I want for every one of you to begin to encounter is building a habit and experiencing next level accountability so that you can begin building the life of your vision. You're muted, brother.
What is the vision that everyone's here for? What is the objective and the win? And I think about that a lot, Andrew, when we're on stage, when we are talking with students, when we're talking with all of you, is asking what that vision is. You know, when you think about a vision, you think about this is the objective. I want to create this. I want to get a deal. And I think it's important to really get super clear on that,
Mm.
especially over these next 12 days. What do you want? What do you really want to achieve for you and your family? Is it freedom? Is it to have your dream home? Is it to not have to stress anymore about money? Is it to have a business that you can run with people that you love? Type it in the chat. What is that vision for you? Even if it's one word, type it in the chat. Me and Andrew just want to know. So over the next 12 days, we can look back at it and see what it is you guys are trying to do.
Well, you're typing those visions. In a moment, we're going to talk about your freedom number. I want you to be thinking about this. Those of you who have been around know I talk a lot about your freedom number because that's your North Star. That's how we know how to guide you, is what is your freedom number and what's the path of least resistance to get there?
Let's read some of these, Drew.
Let's do it.
I got generational wealth, Christopher Campbell. Royalty Johnson says freedom. John says freedom. Sam says freedom. Shirley says peace.
Hmm.
Joshua says financial freedom. What do you got on your end?
Have a family and not stress about money, being stress free when it comes to money. Debbie says financial freedom. Alicia says legacy. Terry says stop living paycheck to paycheck and get to 300K a year. Devin says travel when I want, where I want, how I want. Welcome to the family, Devin. Devin was at our last live event, and I am so excited for you, brother, and the breakthroughs that are happening now for you. Mike, a home and monthly income. Anna says financial freedom and time freedom. Troy says wealth.
This is what I'm talking about. You guys are clear. You're clear on what you want. And so when you're here, you know what you want.
Mm.
Now, what we have to do is uncover in order to get the wealth, in order to get freedom, in order to build the generational wealth you want, what are the actions that we have to take? And so that's what we're going to cover here is what actions we need to take and over the next 12 days, what that's going to look like. I have a huge AI segment that I want to cover with you guys. It's going to help you throughout the next 12 days. But the frame always is AI is not going to do everything for you.
Mm.
A lot of people think AI is taking over and that AI is going to take your job or an investor's job. But the real idea there is that AI is not going to take your job or your place. Somebody using AI is going to take that place.
Well
And we're going
said.
to train you how to do that. We have a lot to cover. It's already been an hour. Can you believe that,
Whoa,
Andrew?
that's crazy.
It's been 60 minutes just like that.
It's crazy.
Are you guys enjoying this? Type in the chat yes if you're enjoying this. If you're having fun and you're taking notes and excited as much as we are. Because if not, we can opt out. We love this stuff. We do. Andrew, what do you think is the most important thing to cover before I go into my AI workshop and my session? What do you think?
I think the first thing we need to do before we get to AI, because we're going to have every day through the end of the year except Christmas and Sundays. Um, Waiting for somebody to fill in the blanks there. All right. So, except for Christmas and Sundays. So, what I want to point out for you guys and what I think is very important is clarity. Type it in the chat, clarity. The lack of clarity always breeds inaction. That's something that when you can get clear on your objective, if you say to me, "Hey, I want to have a drive," well, cool. Where do you want to go? I guess a grocery store. Okay, cool. Which grocery store? Well, I'll just drive till I find one. It might be a while. There's grocery stores around, but if you can say to me, "I want to go to the Walmart on X street," now we can determine how you get there. Clarity is the key. So I think before we get into AI, I want to, Leo, make sure everyone's clear on their vision and their freedom number. We can take just a few short minutes and get clear on our freedom number and our vision. What is freedom number? You want to talk about freedom number? You want me to?
You go ahead and I'll talk about vision.
What's up, Terry? What's up, Valerie? Good to see you, Carson. So, freedom number, for those of you who don't yet know, is the number that we make every single month at the next level of our life. Who here would travel more if you made an extra 10 or 20 or $30,000 a month? Leo and I just came back from Japan, and every year we do one or two international trips. Maybe next year some of you guys come with us, and we do this where we go and we plan and we talk about business and God and money and brotherhood and life and our community and how to serve people at a higher level. And something I find is many people, including myself years ago, wanted to travel more. I just didn't have the ability. And, I always heard the saying, when you got money, you don't have time. And when you got time, you don't have money. Until I realized there's a different way, a better way to accomplish that. And when you start removing your time from the dollars you make, I was making $13 and $14 and $15 an hour in my late teen years working construction. And something I always found was I always had a cap. Even if I worked 40, 50, 60, 70 hours and I worked really hard, there was still a limit. So your freedom number is the number that you make to get to the next step. Many times we hear 10,000, 20,000, 50,000. For those of you who are more experienced, 100,000. What's that monthly income that would give you the ability to grab the check at Christmas dinner and not worry about it? What's that freedom number that would allow you to take the family on the international trip with you and stay at nice places and not worry about it? I'm not talking about 4 private jets, 6 homes, and $1 million a month. If you're trying to get to your first 10 or 20K, we'll get there. Let's get there. But first, let's put our next step in. Let's set a goal that we could hit in a certain amount of time. Carrie is at 30,000 a month. Type it in the chat. What is your freedom number? That monthly number. Heather's at 100K a month. Tracy's at 10K a month. What's some freedom numbers you're seeing, Leo?
Lori's got 20K. Christopher's 20K. 50K for John. 25K. 25 from Anna.
Heck yeah.
JC.
Holly's
Good to see
50.
you. Kyle's got 30. All right.
Good. Keep them coming. Terry's got 15K. Bill's got 40. Kevin's got 25. Good. This is where it starts. When you put it down on paper, now you can begin to take actions to get there. Type it in the chat. Chunk it down. If I'm wholesaling a deal, I can expect a fairly quick payday. In fact, we have a deal right now we just closed on, Leo and I, last week, and we're putting it back on the market this week. Actually, I think it closed on Monday this week. Putting it back on the market this week. We'll wholesale it. Bought it, closed it, turn around, reselling it. We may get the crap cleaned out of it before we sell it. Expect a quick payday. That's awesome. If our average profit per wholesale deal is $15,000 and my freedom number is 30,000 a month, how many wholesales do I need a month to hit my freedom number? 2. Good. Now, if my average profit is $52,000 on a BOF deal, buy owner finance sell and lease option, and my monthly freedom number is $50,000, how many BOF deals do I need a month to hit my monthly freedom number? 1. Now, of course, I know with a BOF deal, there's the front end payday. We're going to be talking about that over the next every day, the rest of the year, except Christmas and Sundays. We're going to be talking about BOF how to structure these deals, how to get the 3 paydays. You might not get 52 grand on the front end. In fact, often you won't. So you're building a snowball. So we're going to make sure that we're taking care of today's needs. We'll talk about that, how to make sure that today's needs are taken care of while we're building legacy wealth or we're building financial freedom. But I want to paint this vision. So if I need 1 deal a month or 2 deals a month, it takes me on average, this is my chunk it down theory. I want this because tomorrow when I give the homework and you guys start getting free leads, or for those of you who are buying leads, I want you to understand it doesn't matter what it costs us. It matters what it can. Waiting for the chat to light up. Make. Matters what we can make us. Yes. Thank you. Shout out. We're going to be giving away some cash this week. You guys are on this keyboard. John with the first one. Heck yeah. So What happens is it doesn't matter what it costs us, it matters what it can make us. And if that's the case, I look at this and I go, okay, on average, it takes me about 7 meaningful conversations to close a deal. Now, that's high quality paid leads, and that's after calling a few thousand. So, should you expect, if you're brand new, 7 phone calls to get a deal? Heck no. But if you're, let's say, new and it takes you 50 calls to get a deal, or shoot, like Kurt Dixon, 195 calls to get a $71,000 deal. If I need one deal per month, and on average, let's do the math, it takes me 7 to close a deal. Say you're dealing with crappier leads because they're free or lower cost. Let's say you're dealing with being newer on the phone, so you haven't talked to the thousands of sellers yet. And you're looking, going, okay, I need 100 phone conversations to buy a house. If I need one deal a month and 100 conversations to buy a house, how many conversations is that per day? 30 days in a month, about 3 conversations a day, or 4 per weekday. Who here, if to get to your freedom number, it took 3 meaningful conversations a day, an average of 5 to 10 minutes apiece, who here could find 30 minutes a day to have 3 meaningful conversations a day to get to your freedom number? Give me a yes in the chat. Money is math. Money is math. What happens when we begin to chunk it down is it takes the scary out. We go, okay, now what's the next question? If you're not already getting leads, where do I get leads? I'm going to break that down tomorrow. If you're getting leads, crap, how do I make these offers to them? I'll be talking about that over the next week. How do we then write up the contract when someone says yes? Be talking about that. Well, crap, then how do I turn around and get paid on the deal? I'll be showing you that as well, except it all begins with saying yes now and then figuring out how. How do I start to chunk it down and start to commit to a daily action plan? Type it in the chat, MIDAS. It's called your MIDAS. What is your MIDAS, Leo?
Your Midas is your guide. It really is. It's the most important daily action steps. I'll show you shortly how to create your vision. But when you have your Midas every single day, you take a little notebook and you say, what are the things I got to get done today that'll move me
Mm.
forward to my vision? If every single day you simply did your Midas, it is inevitable that you move towards your goal and that you hit your goal. So often someone will think one day, hey, what do I got to do today? And they'll get it done. And then a couple days will pass by and they'll do something else. And then another couple days will pass by and they do something else. And then in a month, they did 4 actions that moved them towards their goal. But Andrew, the students that we teach Midas. That means every single day you write 4 to 5 things, your most important daily action steps that will move you towards your goals. And now in one day, you're doing what the average entrepreneur, the average person is doing in a whole month. How much more can we get done in a month or even half of a month or even less than that, 12 days? How much more can we get done in 12 days if we do our Midas?
Mm.
And that's something you'll do every day is you'll just ask yourself in the morning, what are my Midas today? What are my most important daily action steps that I got to get done? Drew, what I'm going to do for a moment, I'm going to walk everyone through a vision. And it's going to be their vision. It's your vision. It's not mine. It's not Andrew's. It is yours. And there's just 3 simple points that I want you to write down and have ready. Okay. Number 1, type it in the chat. Why now? Why now? Ask yourself the question, why now? Why are you here right now? Why are you doing this business at this stage of your life? And when we ask that question, we just have to be very honest. Why are we here? Is it because we want to retire soon? Is it because that we've been down an unfortunate path and we need to find a path that works? Is it because you want to put your money somewhere? You want to have a place where you have real assets? Or is it because you're just saying, you know what, it's better now than later? Now, the next question I want you to ask, and I want you to ponder it. I want you to ponder it. If nothing changes in the next 12 months, what is the real cost?
Mm.
If nothing happens, if you did nothing with this information, if you did not move towards your goals for the next 12 months, what does it cost? Jen says, my sanity. Some of you guys will say, that's going to hurt because I'm in a bundle, I'm in a pickle, I'm in a situation where I need to get myself out. Some of you guys are saying my health, some of you guys are saying not having growth. But what is the cost of not having growth? Of staying the same? Really, really think about that. Now, as you're thinking about it, you guys are getting it. I see it. You guys are typing in the chat. By the way, we see every single comment that comes through. It's our way of being able to connect with you guys. Sylvia, I see it. Kevin, Henry, good to see you guys. Ed. Number two, type it in the chat, big and loud. Your operator identity. Your operator identity. Now, this is going to get this is going to get big. I want you guys to have your notes out. I want you guys to really hone in. I'm going to ask you guys some questions. What changes in your life when you hit your freedom number every month? Let's just say it is December 18th, 2026. It's been 12 months. You've used this information and you've become the type of person who can do deals consistently. Some of you guys said 25K. Some of you guys said 50K. Some of you guys said 75K. Some of you guys said, I saw 300K. Some of you guys said multiple different numbers. What changes in your life? Let's just average it out to 50. What changes in your life as you make $50,000 a month in your business and for you and your family? What changes? Some of you guys are debt free. Alicia gets freedom. Jody says everything. Some of you guys said mindset, stability. Jessica, regain control. Heather said peace. My next question for you then is, what habits does that person keep every single day? Keep typing in the chat. This is very interactive. What habits does that person keep every day? Are they making calls every day? Are they eating junk food every day? Are they doing their MIDAs every day? Are they consistent? Are they working on their mindset every single day? Now I got another question for you. I think you guys are getting it. It's you guys are breaking through of what is required to become that person. What does that version of you that is getting deals, what does that version of you do even when it is inconvenient or uncomfortable? Because that's the difference maker, people. When it is inconvenient or when it is uncomfortable is when 99% of people fail because they just couldn't get themselves to go through the hard times, the difficult times, the push through. A small inconvenience took them out. But what is the version of you that even when it gets uncomfortable or inconvenient, still continues to show up? That is who I want to see from every single one of you guys here. Because that is the person, by the end of these 12 days, we're going to be able to see you guys. Andrew, I'm sure we can figure out where we can actually see their faces. Can we do that? I lost your voice. Can you guys hear Andrew?
Check, check, check. How
Oh,
about
there
now?
you are.
All right. Starting tomorrow, all of our coaching community will be live with us in the Zoom. Everyone who is not yet part of the coaching community will be on a live stream link as well, similar to this.
Oh, so we'll be able to see everyone tomorrow.
We'll be able to see everyone who's in the coaching community tomorrow. Yes. So there'll be like 40 of us on here on Zoom
Oh,
seeing each
okay. That
other's
changes
faces.
everything.
Yeah. While everybody else gets to watch in. So there'll be about
Okay.
70 of you on the live stream link helping us with comments. And there'll be about 40 of you in the Zoom room with us.
Okay. See, that is so helpful. Dude, I
Yes.
don't know how to tell you guys. When I'm just looking at a screen with me and Andrew, it is so hard to like connect and to teach and to do what we do because I'm such a human person. I need to see you guys. And so I try my best to like look at your comments and connect. That's why the beginning was so tough because all I'm looking at is Andrew. I love you, Andrew, but all I'm looking at is Andrew and me. And it's just like, well, where's everyone at? I thought it was just us two in the beginning. That's why I was like, what is going on? Anyways, the type of person that is getting deals consistently, what do they do when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient? Think about that. You're probably someone who's showing up consistently and is able to be emotionally durable. You're probably someone that does your MIDAs every single day. And you're probably someone that starts with gratitude. An attitude of gratitude changes everything, people. When you're grateful for the opportunity to be here, grateful for the opportunity to talk to a seller, grateful for the opportunity to live in a place where we get the opportunity to build this type of business, it just gets you on a roll. I mean, I'm so grateful to be here with you, Andrew. I always have fun doing these type of things and hanging out with all of you guys. I'm very, very grateful. And that's the type of person in 12 days when I see your guys' face is the one who's going to have four contracts, three contracts, two contracts, five contracts, nine contracts, because you're going to keep an attitude of gratitude even when life hits, especially during the holidays. So I'm grateful for you guys. Last one, number three. Number three, write this down. My finish line. My finish line.
This is good.
I asked my team this morning. We run a team of 15 incredible, absolutely incredible individuals. A lot of them are here supporting and hanging out with us. And I asked them, what does a win look like for you? What does a win look like for you here? At the end of the year, every single time we always ask, what's the win? Why are you here working with us? For them, it's different for everybody. I want to grow personally in our company, and I want you guys to do this for your companies. Make sure you have time in your leadership meetings or in your meetings to talk about personal growth, talk about their goals. All right. Andrew always talks about WIFM. You got to tune into WIFM. What does that mean?
What's in it for me?
What's in it for me? It's how humans are. They think, what's in it for me? And I understand that. I'm a human. And so I know when every team member comes in, they want something. A lot of them want to serve, but they also want something. So I always ask them, what's in it for you? What do you want to achieve from this? And we always get different answers. But my question for you is why are you here? What do you want to achieve? What does winning look like to you in simple terms? In the next couple of days, let's just call it 12 days. By the end of this 12 days of momentum, what does the win look like for you? Type in the chat. Is it one contract? Is it one deal? Is it just having the habits built in? Is it making some new friends? Is it getting some motivation to move and maybe it's to work out every day? I don't know. Hey, we always hope to be an inspiration for that. What is that simple win that you can label and that you can name as your finish line? Tom says all of the above. Shobna says two contracts. Shobna, you're awesome. Ed says new habits and one deal. Cindy says consistency. Okay. Then answer this one more. I'm asking you guys a lot of questions because I'm curious about you guys. I'm curious about what you want. So the finish line here is that you have consistency, you've got a deal, you've got closer to a deal or a couple contracts. What is the finish line for 2026? Bigger question. I'm not talking 12 days, I'm talking 365 days of every day putting in your Midas, every day putting in the work, focusing, being with us, spending time with the right people that want to serve you. What is the finish line in 12 months? Type it in the chat. I love some of you guys that are putting in more than just the money because I know for many of you, it is more than just the money. The money helps, but the money is a byproduct for who you become, for the growth you achieve, for the consistency that you craft. I love that. Susie says 6 homes for homeless. That's big. That's a byproduct for having bought 24 homes yourself. Cindy says buying a rental. Time with family, Roseanne says, right? That time with family gives you more morale to go back into the business to continue to crush it. Life on the next level, Reggie says. Jody says travel with my kids and wants to see the world. Me and Andrew, we go on an international trip a couple times a year. This time it was one. We had a crazy, busy, awesome year. And we travel. Why? Yes, to see the world, but because it gives us a whole different perspective for a couple of weeks. And we always bring that perspective right back into the business. Andrew, we love those trips.
We do love those trips. And breakthrough happens. You know, whether you're like Judy, who has now done over 100 deals, but she loves spending time with the grandkids and going fishing with her husband occasionally, and also buying houses and just running this business. I think it's such a gift when you can travel, whether it be, Leo and I always tell people to come to us about somebody else and say, do you think they would make a good business partner? We always say you're required to first go on an international trip before you partner with anyone because you find out who you both truly are.
That's right.
And something that it will either make it or break it, right? Something that is really exceptional when you can just put yourself in an environment to be able to, this is part of positioning yourself for success. How do I set up a habit? How do I, uh, if you've not read the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, it's a powerful book. And it talks about if I want to lose weight and eat healthier, what's easier to keep Diet Cokes in the fridge and every single day, multiple times a day, make the decision to not drink one at this moment? Or when I'm at the store, just decide not to buy Diet Cokes. Now I have a job. If I want a Diet Coke, to get in the car, drive down the road to the convenience store. That's too much work. Position yourself for success. How do I set it up where I'm most likely to do calls? How do I set it up where I'm most likely to win? And that's part of it. When you're on an international trip and we get breakthrough and vision and takeaways that always make the year ahead more powerful for the fact that we've been on a trip intentionally deciding to do good for others and to serve and asking ourselves, how do we serve even better?
100%. If you don't have a vision, there's no clarity of action. When you have a simple vision in front of you, it clears up your path to know exactly what you need to do to move forward, to know exactly what is my next step.
Hmm.
And over the next 12 days, we're going to be giving you the steps. However, if you don't have the vision for why you're doing it, our bodies are not going to let us move and go through the hardship that is making calls, especially in the beginning. It's just like it's just like learning something new. You know, when I first rode a bike, well, first was learning how to do it, and my it was actually my mom. My mom was trying to teach me how to ride a bike. I didn't want to do it at first, but then she said, "Leo, the girls are gonna like you when you're riding a bike." And I said, "Get me on there. You show me how I'm riding." And I learned that same day how to ride a bike because I had a vision for what I wanted to do. I had a vision for what I wanted. And I say that because it's the same thing. If we know what we want and we know what it's going to take to get there, we will go through the hardship. We will go through the uncomfortable trials. And stepping out of your comfort zone is really where we find the most growth that I'm so excited for you guys to experience here. So, Andrew, should I jump into AI?
Yes. And for anybody who joined us in more recent moments, just to bring you up to speed, this is day one of the 12 Deals of Christmas. We are live for today is 3 hours taking you through this AI masterclass and giving you the breakdown of how to get your real estate investing business to the next level for 2026. Every day for the next 11 days, we're talking about picking market, getting free leads, negotiating deals, often with very little money down, how to use other people's money, how to sell deals in terms of cash and cash flow. Starting tomorrow, it will be an hour a day every day, except Sundays and Christmas. All right. So I think we should dive into AI. And who here's ready for some AI? Just type yes in the chat if you're ready for some AI gold. This is stuff, 2, 3 years ago, Leo. And I just thank you for staying on the cutting edge of this. Because I remember when ChatGPT, before hardly anybody knew it existed, you called me and you're like, bro, you got to try this new machine. And I'm like, cool. And I go log in and you taught me something right then. Type it in the chat, ask better questions. And you was telling me what all it was doing for you at that time. This was 2, 3 years ago, right? When it was coming out and becoming popular. And you was telling me all the stuff it was doing, except I went in and I'm like, this is a dumb machine. It's giving me really stupid answers. And you said something to me that changed the way I thought about it. Ask better questions. You said to me, that's because your prompts suck. In other words, you're not asking the right questions. I said, well, how do I ask the right questions? He said, you've got to develop a prompt. What the heck's a prompt? Except that changed the whole way I began to think about life because if it's not giving you what you want, how do you ask better questions? How do you engineer a better prompt? How do you position yourself for success? A lot that you've taught me about AI, but oh my gosh, how much it's changed in the last 3 months, let alone 2 or 3 years. So thank you for keeping us on the cutting edge. And I'm excited about this next segment of today, of day one, 12 Deals to Christmas.
I want to ask you guys a question first. Are you guys okay with me just teaching off the cuff and teaching how I normally teach my students, which is I'm all over the place. I go, I teach, I'm fast. I just rock. Are you guys good? Just type in the chat, yes. Tam says, we'll find out. I asked that because sometimes, I try to structure everything in such a way with all these stories and the guidance to get you to get it and simplify it. And then I'm like, what am I doing? Like I don't have fun doing it. I have fun when I'm just me. Where Laura Lee says, maybe slow it down. I will. We have about 90 minutes, yeah, Drew?
Actually, we have 87 minutes left.
Woo. 87 minutes. Okay. You guys want to have some fun? Just type in chat, yes. We'll have some fun. Okay, good. Awesome. Awesome. My palms are sweaty because I was gonna teach the whole 2 hour segment and try to get it done in 60 minutes. But I'm just gonna do what I think will help everyone get the most out of these next 12 days and get the most out of AI. Drew, why don't you take some time? I'll take it over and then I'll just be near. I'll call on you when we do some live calls.
I'll be in the background.
Rock and roll.
All right. You guys are
All
in
right.
for a treat. This next segment's going to be powerful.
All right, we gotta stretch, everybody. We gotta stretch. Everyone just stretch it out for a second. Okay. So usually when I do this segment, I go over 30, 40, 50 different AIs that I've been studying and I've been using for the past few years and that I have used to build Truka, to build one of the biggest real estate education companies, to build our real estate company. that has allowed me to build 1 million followers on social media, to get over 1 billion views across social media. And I just go over all of them. But I will be so completely honest. I have done that session and taught it so many times. And like out of 20,000 people that may have watched it and studied it, like 26 people did something with it and actually used it. And I'll tell you why I think that, and you tell me why you think. I think it's because some people think AI is going to be what helps them build their business, and AI is going to be the saving grace for some of the bad habits that we as entrepreneurs carry. But if you are not yet an operator, type that in the chat, operator. If you are not yet an operator, it doesn't matter what AI I give you. It doesn't matter what software system, anything I give you, it's not going to get done. It's going to be like a fun little tool that is all it is. It's just fun, but it won't actually give you the results that you're looking for. And so I want to take the overwhelm out of AI, and I want to build. I know it sounds super corny. I said it one time. I don't want to teach you AI. I want to teach you HI. Instead of artificial intelligence, I want to teach you human intelligence. But in all actuality, what does that mean? Andrew was talking about prompting. Type in the chat prompting. This is the language that we're learning together. Just like the language of negotiation, we're going to learn the language of prompting. Prompting is the ability to ask fantastic questions and provide enough context to get what you want. Let's imagine that there is the smartest. Let's imagine who's some smart people. Andrew plus Elon Musk plus who else? Albert Einstein times 17 into a computer, into a human chipped, no, computer chipped human. All right. And plus Laura Lee, because she said me. Imagine that person. And imagine that that person doesn't sleep, doesn't have emotion, doesn't have anything but the capacity to do whatever you tell it to do. What's the first thing that you would have that person do? Type in the chat. What's the first thing you would have them do? If they can do absolutely anything for you, what's the first thing? Someone says make me rich. Ty says make me rich. Deborah says everything. Joshua says build my business. Devin says make me money. Tammy says how do I make me money? Bridget says talk to sellers. All these different things. Find Fizbos, Alicia says. Clean the house. Hey, did you guys see that robot that Elon put out? I think it was Elon. The Tesla robot that can do your dishes and that can clean up for you. It's crazy. But all these things that you guys are saying, it can do, but you're not speaking the right language to the AI to help it do this. So I'm going to do two things today. I'm going to show you how to be an operator, and I'm going to show you how to be a master prompter. Those two things. If you're ready, say type in the chat yes. I say type in the chat because now I don't even have Andrew. It's just I'm looking at me with my silly Christmas hat, and I need to feel like there's some other people here that I'm actually adding some value to. All right. Sometimes I get in the mode of like, let me just go build business instead of teaching, because teaching is not my number one skill. Cool. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. All right. Becoming an operator. While I'm teaching this, I'm going to be putting in AI and showing you how to prompt. Just trust me. Trust the process. Trust the process. Becoming an operator. Number one, what does an operator do? They act before they feel ready. That's number one. Act before you feel ready. With this AI stuff, you're never going to feel ready. because every single day more and more and more and more and more and more and more things are being crafted and created. When I first built this company, Truka Real Estate, I definitely didn't feel ready because I knew I wasn't the real estate expert. And I also got terrible grades in high school. Well, I actually got really good grades, but I got denied to all of the colleges that I wanted to go to. But all of a sudden, I'm here starting a real estate education company. How the heck am I ever going to do that? And when Andrew asked me to help him build this company, he said, "Leo, I know you can do this. You've done things like this before. You're smart, you're ahead, you know how to brand, you know how to teach. I know you can do this." But in my head, I just didn't feel ready. I did not know how to teach. I did not know how to hire. I did not know how to do anything. But what did I do? I simply acted before I felt ready. I said, you know what? Let's do it. Let's do it. Andrew, you've got all the real estate knowledge. You've done over 500 deals and you've helped me buy my first couple of properties. I learned the process with you. I learned how to do before I felt ready. Let's make it happen. And I said, all I want to do is teach people the same things that you taught me. And how do I take Andrew, your at the time 7 years of experience, and help people learn it in 7 weeks? And that's what we did. I took his brain and I just started asking question after question. That's why I asked you guys so many questions. I just asked questions after questions after questions. How can a student develop their business when they're just getting started? What is the number one thing that a student needs to learn? What is the mindset that a student needs to have? I just went and went and went and crafted and created. And 4.5 years later, we've had over 1,000 students come through our doors. We have numerous active students that are getting deals consistently. And we get to do these awesome things with all of you guys to do 12 deals to Christmas. Now, why do I say this? Why do I tell you this story? Is if I didn't act before I felt ready, this would never have happened. This would never have been created. And I would still be feeling like I wasn't ready. And so today, when I'm showing you this AI stuff, I want you to keep that in the front of your mind. Act before you feel ready. And through repetition, through showing up and taking action, it's going to become so easy. It's going to become secondhand nature for you on how to prompt. Okay. Number two, you make decisions with structure, not emotion. You make decisions with structure, not emotion. I'm going to share my screen right now and I'm going to show you guys how to utilize the most famous AI out there to be a second brain. Would that be cool? Type in the chat, second brain. Second brain. What that means is you have your brain and you also have the smartest person times 20 in your pocket at all times. And what I wanted to do with what AI I showed you is probably ones that you've heard before. I don't want to show you a bunch of new crazy AIs that you have to go master. I want to show you the ones that you're already using, starting with, guess which one? ChatGPT. All right. So let's jump into ChatGPT and I'm going to show you guys a cool trick. Drew, I might need you to turn on sharing. Oh, you know what? Let's see if you could see this. Can you guys see that? I don't even need sharing access. Hey, this is some of the coolest stuff. Like I get to control this thing. I'm going off track, but I get to control this thing with this. That's how that's how some of the professional, like the professional webinar people, they just have this. What a cool thing. Anyways, let me not get distracted. All right. So we're on ChatGPT right now. Some of you guys say it's a little bit blurry, but best we got right now. ChatGPT, there's a free version and then there's a paid version. I use the pro. It's like 20 bucks a month. It is easy to use. And I want you guys to see this as a second brain. But the first thing we have to do in order to build a second brain is get it to understand us more. And so on ChatGPT, there is a left side, uh, Andrew or Aloja, if you have the capacity to turn on sharing, help me do that so I can do that. But there's a left side that says right here, boom, that says personalization and settings.
You got sharing now.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Let's do this. I kind of like this. Hey, how blurry is this, Drew?
Is very clear on my end.
Hey, we're going to go with that then. So, the first thing we need to do is personalize this towards us. Okay, so I'm going to help you guys do that. Make sure to take as many notes as possible. So, you're going to go to personalization, and there's a box that says custom instructions. Okay, again, ChatGPT or any AI is just as good as you prompt it. And so what I always do whenever I start a new AI is I tell it as much as I can about me. Let's go back. Personalization. About me, my values, what I want to see. Here, let's do this. Let's fix this. I know you guys can bear with me.
You guys having fun? Get the chats hopping a little bit. Got 146 people live right now.
Boom. All right. Is this more clear?
Very
There
clear on
you
my end.
go. Okay. So what I'm wanting to do right now on ChatGPT, I'm personalizing it towards me. And so I'm wanting it to understand how I like to be spoken to. Okay. And I'm going to show you why this is all important, how this is going to help you get more deals. All of this is going to help you. Now, some of you guys who may not have that feature, here's what I want you to do. Okay. If you're just getting started with ChatGPT and you're just starting to learn it, I want you to start with this. I'm wanting to make a second brain with ChatGPT. I want to personalize my GPT towards me and my goals. Here's a little bit about me. Okay. That's what I'm going to start with. When I start with this sentence, this is the initial prompt. This is saying, I want to do this. Uh-oh. Do we get the wrong screen? We're going to figure this out, guys. What do you guys see? You guys see ChatGPT, right? Where it says, what's on your agenda today? There you go. You know, I gotta stop reading the comments. I gotta just focus on this. Some people are telling me we're off track. We're getting right back on it. All right. So the first sentence when you're prompting, it is always the sentence of what you want to overall achieve. I'm making a second brain with ChatGPT. I want to personalize my GPT towards me and my goals. Here's a little bit about me. Before I say here's a little bit about me, let's say I want you to craft a paragraph customizing my GPT towards my preferences. This is so important, especially those of you who have already been using ChatGPT, is to start with this. Okay, so sentence number one is to craft the goal. And then I say, here's a little bit about me. So I start. Uh, my name is Leo Valentino. I run multiple companies under the Truka umbrella. My goal is to help as many people become the best versions of themselves. I believe that people have a gift and a calling, and I'd like to help them achieve it. Okay? Now, let's just say you're not me and you're not Leo and you're wanting to develop your real estate company. Then you'll say, somebody type in your goals in there in the chat. Let me take your name and your goals. No one's going to do it. It's all right. My name is Tam. My goal is to achieve 12 deals over the next 12 months. Let's double that. Let's do 24 deals. My goal is to achieve 24 deals over the next 12 months. I'm a mom with 3 kids and a husband, and I'd like to build consistency, discipline, and I'd like to enjoy the work I do. Okay? Let's get rid of mine. Now, all I did was create 2 sentences, but I prompted it. I said, this is my goal, and here's some context. Everyone type in the chat context. When you're wanting to get anything out of AI, you want to give it your goal and context. You put those two together, and you can have anything that you want out of AI. Okay? Now, if I want to get more specific, I can add more specifics. I want it to be a paragraph, or I want it to be 2 paragraphs, or I want it to be written in an elegant format. None of that matters right now. All I'm doing is showing the simplicity. Okay? So what I'll do is I'll tap enter, and it's going to give me the exact GPT instructions to add into my preferences. All right. You are my second brain and execution partner. My name is Tam. I'm a mom of 3, a wife, and a real estate investor with a clear goal, closing 24 deals in the next 12 months. Help me think clearly, prioritize what actually moves the needle, and stay consistent even when life is busy. Blah, blah, blah. What I would do is take this and copy it into your preferences. And now your entire GPT knows your goal and it knows exactly what you want. So every response you give is 5 times more clear. Now, do you have to do this? No. Do I highly recommend it to everybody learning AI? Yes. And will it get you closer to your goals much faster? Also, yes. So let's say I'm Tam. I'm a mom of 3. The next thing I want to do is utilize ChatGPT as a thinking partner. How do I do that? I see this screen as an actual partner. This is an execution partner. So let's do this. In order to achieve 24 deals in the next 12 months, I was a part of an awesome webinar, an event that told me that I have to develop the right habits in order to hit these goals. what are the necessary habits that you believe someone would need to develop in order to grow in this business? Now, it might be silly to you that I'm asking an AI on what habits to build, but I promise you, as you continue to use it just as a thinking partner, you will get substantially ahead of everyone else who is trying to simply write on their paper alone and think through these things. Because what you're doing is you're thinking on your own while using AI who understands everything about you and what you're wanting to do and using it as a secondary execution partner, a secondary thinking partner. And so let's do this. You guys enjoying this? Type in the chat, yes. I want to make sure I'm not going too fast or too slow. Good. So here's what it's going to do. It's going to give you the exact habits that you're going to need in order to hit 24 deals in 12 months, which is two a month. Here's the non-negotiables, and I'll tell you if I agree with them or not. Number one, daily lead generation habit, even when you don't feel like it. I 100% agree. What does it look like? 60 to 90 minutes a day, calling, texting, or following up with sellers. 100%. Now, I want to show you how to do this for a minute because we're going to use it later. And by the way, all of this is recorded, so you're going to have access to this for those of you that can't follow along. Andrew's going to show you two different ways to get free seller leads. I'm going to show you the first one that's so easy that anyone can do right now. Is you go to Zillow and you could choose any market. Everyone put in the city where you're from. Type it in the chat. Put in the city where you're from. Robert says Nashville. Oh, wow. Someone says North Pole. Lori, what's going on? That's where I'm from. All right, let's do Nashville. Thank you to, who was it? Oh, you guys type so fast. Thank you to Robert. All right, we're going to go to Nashville, Tennessee, because me and Andrew are looking to build a compound out there, anyways. And what you're going to do is you're going to go more. You're going to get rid of everything else except for owner posted. All right, I want you guys to follow along as fast as you can. What does this do? I tap apply. That just gave me 33 people that raised their hand and says, I want to sell my house. I don't want to go with a realtor, but I want to sell my house. So I'm posting it on here. And so 33 leads are right here in front of me of houses that I can call right now. In fact, Andrew, what we can do if you want to hop back on here, we can probably have you do a live call in a minute.
Yeah. Just say when. I'm in the background waiting.
Okay. So these are what's called FSBOs. Everyone type in the chat FSBO, FSBO. A FSBO is a for sale by owner. You guys ever see those signs on houses that has the red, it says for sale by owner? This is somebody that is waiting in their home for people to call them to buy their house. They might be going through a divorce. They might be wanting to downsize. They might be wanting to go through all different sorts of things. And so what I wanted to do to show you guys this, number one, is how simple everything is. When you're using AI and it's telling you, hey, one of the most important things is daily lead generation, what's the next thing that's going to go through your mind? How do I generate leads? And so what would I do? I would ask AI, what is the best way to generate these leads? But I just wanted to show you here. Okay, I'm going to come back to this. You're seeing how my mind is. My mind kind of goes ADD and goes all over the place, but you're going to learn a lot. The next one, it says follow up discipline. Absolutely. Touch every warm lead every single week. Write that down. If you write this down and you execute on this, you will win more than most investors who have been doing this for 2, 3, 4 years. If you follow up with every warm lead every single week and continue to connect with them, you will get the deals because most people are going through here and they're making the call and they're building the connection, but then they forget about them. And a week goes by and myself or Andrew or Judy will make the call and we'll close that deal. And if we don't, we'll follow up the next week and close that deal. But because you did not touch that warm lead, you lost the deal. The next one is track conversations, not just numbers. 100%. We always say this to all of our students, it's conversations. Whether it's 2, 3, or 4 a day, have those conversations every single day and track them. You don't have to pay attention to the number of dials right now. Hey, I made 50 dials. It's not as important as saying I had 3 conversations with leads that I was able to pitch to. When a student comes to us and we track metrics, we go through a system called level 10 and we ask the student, "Hey, how many conversations did you have?" Or I had 2 or I had 3. Good. If their goal is 4 and they only had 2 conversations, we say, "Hey, why didn't you have 4 conversations? What's going on?" This these are some of the behind the scenes of what makes students the most successful. It is follow up and it is tracking the conversations you have. Okay? Next is a weekly scorecard review. And so this is very important because we're going to teach this over the next 12 days and I don't want to get ahead of myself, but if you can every week ask yourself, how many new conversations did I have? How many follow-ups did I have? How many offers were made? And where did I avoid discomfort? I agree with these 4. If you ask these every week, you will continue to grow because you will see, last week I had 12 conversations. I did 6 follow ups. I made 2 offers. And you know what? I could have done more, but I didn't feel like I was ready. I didn't feel like I was ready. Good. That's what you solve this next week. Let's hit a new goal. Let's hit 24 new dials. Or let's have 30 conversations. Let's have 40 conversations. And when you do this, this starts to give you a path of traction. There's an incredible book, write it down, Traction. Type it in the chat. Traction by Gino Wickman. It is a phenomenal book. And as you guys continue to work with us and continue to grow with us, that book is going to be a business Bible for you because it simply holds you accountable and it simply keeps you focused on what is most important at hand. Okay? So, what do we just do there? In 2 conversations, I was able to get ChatGPT to create thoughts, to create ideas that number one gave me the ability to teach you, but also showed you exactly what it is that you need to do. So let's keep going. I'm feeling good. I'm getting my own traction. Let's take one of these houses that I'm gonna have Andrew call. What time is it? 2:04 Pacific time. We're gonna take this property. I'm gonna show you what else you could do with AI. I'm going to text Andrew the phone number because I don't want to show it to the whole world. Andrew, I just texted you a phone number and I'll text you the link too so you have it in front of you.
Perfect.
We'll just do a quick phone call. Let's see if they're available.
How do they know this is not a setup and it's not my mom I'm calling?
That's a good point, huh? It's just calling me in the background. I'm just
We're seeing your screen right now. You want me to call it?
yeah, call it. If it doesn't answer, just I sent you the link so you can go to some other ones.
Perfect.
John says they won't call you honey.
That-
That's
That's funny equals money. I like it, John.
right. Let's see this house.
Hello.
Hey, it's Andrew calling you about the house you're looking to sell on Neely's. Did I catch you at a good time?
Yes, how are you?
Cool. I'm good. How are you?
Thank you.
Good. What was your name?
My name is Keisha.
Okay, Keisha. Yeah, I was just looking at it on Zillow actually. Looked like it needed some work. Can you kind of bring me up to speed, Keisha, of what the story is in the house?
Absolutely. So this is a full gut or full rehab. So new permits would be needed. It's down the
You guys
steps
hear
for
me
the
okay?
interior, although the roof and the foundation, the bones of the general structure are good. So no leaks, anything of that nature. But this was going to be a project for the owner, and they came to a halt after taking it down the studs and decided to move that project to a different state. And so they're going to be using the proceeds from this one for the other project. However, that being said, I had to bring him down a bit on the price because I know we're in the area where the mania happened in the last 5 years, but we have to go by comps. And so when we tore out the inside, that now needed new comps for units that needed full rehab. So of course he's not up for going under a certain amount. I've been cursed out a few times about this property.
I understand.
Understood in this area because the
You a
prices
realtor or a wholesaler for it?
I'm wholesaling this.
Wholesale.
I'm actually
Okay.
working with him on his next deal.
Oh, nice. What?
So new to investing, but I'm normally boots on the ground, so I do go to like the planning and zoning for everyone and all that good stuff.
Good connection. So, question for you: what do you think this house is worth once it's all fixed up? Ask great questions. This is a great person to know in the area.
380.
375 to 380. Okay.
Yes.
How much do you think I'd have to put in it to rehab the darn thing?
I would say 70.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do have some room. I do have some room. I just
Get a laugh if you can.
to go with his best offer because he is close to non-negotiable, but 248 I definitely have room.
How is there a like hard money on this or is free and clear or what's the story there?
He has a small mortgage, which did play a small factor, but it's not much. It's under 50 grand.
Oh, okay. Okay. Looking at here. You live in Nashville, by the way?
Dude.
Yeah. Very cool. Um, you're a good person to get to know there. It sounds like me and my brother probably buying a first residence in that area in the next 12 or 18 months. And so definitely want to continue this conversation. Um,
Where are you?
yeah, right now my main home is in Louisville and second home is in California. So
Oh yeah.
yeah. Um, question on this one. I'm just doing my math real quick because rehabs are. I did a lot of rehabs back in the day, and then I've kind of semi-retired from them because I buy and hold a lot. So I'm doing a quick math. 240, 75. Is that a pretty quick selling area?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I would be.
That price. Because of course, a lot of others would probably try to hold out and get that 4 and a little bit above 4. But if you wanted to, like you said, go quickly, I would stay around that 380.
Yeah. Okay. Unless he was willing to do like some owner financing stuff, my cash offer would be probably insulting.
Okay.
so, so yeah, with the 70K rehab, I would be a little ways off from where you're asking. But do you have anything else in the pipeline that I might want to know about, either with owner financing terms or a little smaller rehab that has some equity in it?
I will definitely lock you in as I do come across them often.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm working on 2 others in Cleveland, Ohio. So,
Okay.
so spread thin, yes.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, let's do this. Lock in my number. If you get something else, let me know. This one won't be a fit. We'll just follow up with you probably in 30 days on this one. But I look forward to collaborating on some other stuff in the future.
That works for me. Can you shoot me a text with your name again?
You got it. As soon as we hang up, I'll text you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks,
And nice
Keisha.
to meet you.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So can I share my screen real quick?
Yep.
So we talk about BOFSLO, buy on or finance, sell and lease option. Now, you guys see in the calculator?
Yes.
Okay. So we have, why didn't I push for the BOFSLO so hard? Why didn't I push for owner financing? Well, because even if we bought the darn thing for nothing down, somebody's got to put 70 grand in it. That doesn't excite me. And so maximum allowable offer in the deal calculator, she says it's 375 to 380. She's being conservative. I believe that's true from looking it up online briefly. After repaired value, 375. Rehab needed, 70,000. Purchase price is asking 248. Not a good deal. 50,000, 57,000 in equity, 15.2%. Now, somebody on here who might be new going, oh my gosh, 57 grand in equity, I would do that deal. I respect that, except you have holding costs. You have overages. If it's a 70K rehab, you have, somebody's got to pay the lawn maintenance. Somebody's got to pay the interest on the private money if you pay cash for this thing, or the hard money, or the business credit line, or your partner. I want 30% minimum equity. So what would my maximum allowable offer need to be? Almost there. My maximum allowable offer would be probably 195. Not even. I'm at 29.3% equity. So my maximum allowable offer would be in the low 190s. Now, there we go. 192 is my maximum allowable offer that gave me just over my 30% bare minimum. So this is cash. Again, I always go for BOFSLO. I always go for buy on under finance. But in this case, the fact somebody has to put 70K into it, it didn't make sense to push hard for that. I need a huge discount anyway if we're going to me, partner, private money, hard money, somebody's going to put all that cash into it. So understand every potential deal. We just asked the main questions. What's the least you'll take on price? And you could tell there that she's in the middle. She was very candid about being the wholesaler. And I'm telling you, there's 3 outcomes for every lead. 1, they cuss you out, say, never call me back. Maybe you lose their number. 2, it's a home run deal. Yes, I'll sell you my house. Nothing down, a low monthly payment. Please buy it now. 3, follow up. 80% of the deals are going to be a follow up. Now, why did I spend the time there? Number 1, I wanted you guys to see the work through. But number 2, I also wanted to point out that she's a wholesaler in the area. Why is that important? Because if you're buying another house in Nashville and you contract something next week, guess who you're going to want to call to at least get opinion and put a lockbox on and connect with and potentially has a buyer for you? She's talked to probably 100 buyers. I have no clue if that's a fact. She's talked to probably dozens, if not hundreds, of buyers on this darn house. Imagine that I contract a house. Me and Leo find a house in Madison next week and we contract it. Out of nowhere, I'm calling Keisha and I'm saying, hey, do you have any buyers that numbers didn't work for? She goes, oh my gosh, I have a whole list of them that called another house. That is how you start building a buyer's list. It's easier to find a house for a buyer than a buyer for a house.
Andrew, I think what's cool, during this AI segment is that that calculator that you just brought up was made 100% using AI.
Yep.
We had a couple people who asked if they can have a copy. What do you think, Andrew?
We normally sell it for $499.99. Because what I didn't show you is that in addition to the cash calculator you just got, there's a Boslow calculator. So imagine she said, I'll sell you this house for $248. It needs no work and it's worth $375, which by the way, sometimes happens. Actually, one better. Judith was just on here. Her phone just died. She's one of our mastermind members. And we actually partnered with them and funded one of their deals earlier in the year. And we bought a house off of them and gave them a $10K fee. Two of the deals that they did this year. Who here would send me a deal if I called it and negotiated and closed it, and then you sold it to me and Leo and we paid you $10K for bringing us the deal? Give me a yes in the chat if you're willing to accept. All right. You ain't going to send me leads. Never mind. All right. So, property value, which by the way, I'm going to talk to you about that more. And we do have a very cool free gift for you before the end of today. But this deal Judith just sent me, I was negotiating with her on our live call a couple days ago. It's a $300,000 house. I'm going from memory here. The rental amount in that area is about $1,900. The non-refundable option deposit we expect to get down. On average, we get about 10%. Who here would be okay accepting $30,000 non-refundable deposit on a lease option? If you know what that means. If you don't, just put yes in the chat. I'll teach you what it means before we're done hanging out together over the next 12 days. All right. It's 30 grand. I'll take it. Yes. So I'm going to cut this down in half. Why? Because I like to show you the good, the bad, the ugly, and nothing goes as planned. I'd rather be planning on 15K non-refundable deposit and get 45K than I would planning on 30 and getting 15. So figure conservatively. Purchase price on this one. We're taking over his debt of $233,000. Joe and Judith is. Monthly payment. Because there was a shortage in escrow, we'll talk about all of these things. Write down your questions, guys. We're going to be taking questions every single day as we go throughout here. You're going to be able to put your questions in the chat. We're going to open that up starting at least tomorrow. I don't know if we'll get the questions today, but starting at least tomorrow. Monthly payment $1,831. As soon as escrow catches back up, it will go back down. Again, if you have questions around that, for those of you who are new, write them down. We'll get to them. Down payment. Now, while we're not giving the seller a down payment per se, he's $9,000 behind on payments. You know what that means? Somebody's got to write a $9K check. Who here would be willing to write a $9,000 check to buy $70,000 of equity? Give me a yes in the chat. Who here would be willing to let me and Leo write a $9K check for you? Never mind. All right. Good deal. 2 out of the 3 criterias are met. The cash flow, not so much. We went $300 to $500 a month. It's not making it. Rental amount $1,900, payment $1,831. Now we'll make it once the escrow goes down. But the down payment of the property, we're in. $9K out. If you have to write out $9,000 to get $15,000 back in a few days or a few weeks, how many $9,000 checks can you write before you run out of money? You can type in the chat, all of them. And in the back end, we owe $233 and the property's worth $300. Now, yes, it has older carpets. We'll talk about how to sell lease options. We'll talk about how to not need to do rehabs to properties very often. as time permits.
Andrew,
They're still wanting to know about these calculator. I know.
they're still asking about the calculators.
All right. Who wants a free calculator? Type free in the chat if you want a free calculator. Do we got to make them earn it? Or are we just going to give it away like that? Maybe we give it away on day 2 as a shameless bribe to get everyone to show up or something.
How many people said free? I can't count that
Free.
fast. Free. It's Christmas. It's the first day.
John says we've been earning it. Work harder, John.
Are you guys gonna make the calls? As you guys learn the process with doing calls, you guys gonna make the calls?
I like Christopher. Christopher says, I say shameless bribe.
Yes.
Who's making these calls? We got the yeses rolling in. And your sparkle.
There you go.
Who commits to showing up? I understand you have Christmas and travels and stuff. You watch the replay on 1 or 2 days that you missed. Out of 12 days, who commits to showing up at least 10 of those? Just type commitment in the chat. Yes is too easy. Commitment's a longer word. It requires thinking to spell. How many M's you need and how many T's you need.
Deborah said she just followed your YouTube channel.
Oh,
Another shameless bribe.
oh, this is good. All right. Speaking of, serious note, every one of you, because everyone who is in our coaching community, you should follow it too. You get a lot of good value about it. But we actually will be live streaming. Everyone's in the coaching community will be hanging out with us face to face on Zoom. But those of you who are not yet there, we're going to be having you on YouTube live stream every day over this time. So I'm going to put that in. Go click on that YouTube link and go give it a subscribe and turn on the notification bell. So every day, not only will we text you a link with a reminder, but every day you'll get a notification. Andrew and Leo are live. All right.
Boom.
All right. So calculator, today or tomorrow? Today or tomorrow? Go subscribe to the YouTube while Leo and I are having a quick mastermind here.
I vote today. It's been a good day. We're
Right.
rolling. We got our Santa hats on.
Let's see how the YouTube subscriptions are going.
David's got it.
All right. Who just subscribed and turned on the notification bell? Who just subscribed and turned on the notification bell?
Elaine's got it. Robert.
12 of you just
Kyle,
did?
JC. JC's already subscribed. Christopher subscribed an hour ago.
Oh, good.
Jane, Jen, Lauren, Tom.
Oh. Several already subscribed. All right. All right. Well, if you're already subscribed, you're earning it. All right. Keep them coming. I've done it. I've done it. Oh, Christopher followed Instagram as well. We got to give him 2 calculators. I like it. I like Christopher. All right. All right. Calculator it is.
You gonna drop it?
I'm going to drop it.
Oh, there you go.
All right.
Woo! Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
Where are you dropping it?
I'm dropping it in the chat. Just making sure everybody's subscribed first.
Okay.
All right.
We
All
sit
right.
here for 2 hours.
Be like, we're missing 3 of you. Go subscribe.
Jen said, making us work for it. Gotta take action for good things.
This is good. All right. We're going to drop it in 10 seconds. We need a
10,
countdown timer.
9, 8, 7, 6. We got a delay. We got to start over. 10. No, I'm just kidding. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right,
Bam! Dropping it now. Go click the calculator and save it. You're welcome. We have a lot more, not only cool things that we're going to be giving away, homework, showing you how to get checks. We have a lot more to cover and leads we're going to be dialing. I got more leads to dial, Leo. When do we want to get to those today? We have 36 minutes left.
Shoot.
Stacy
What about
Silver's
this?
Tam, Krista, Tammy.
What if I don't know if we have I think we do have time, but since we're still teaching about AI, what if I taught them how to build their own stuff?
Oh, we should do that. We should do that real quick. I just have to read this comment because it's incredible. Tam
Yeah.
says, I already subscribed, been subscribed. I must admit, I get distracted watching you, Andrew. You look like my husband when he was young.
Let's go, Tam. Shooting her shot. Just kidding. Hey, type in the chat yes if you'd like me to show you how to build your own stuff like a calculator.
I just wished he'd talk to me like you do. I miss that.
Oh man, what are we doing, Andrew?
Oh.
What are we doing? Let's give
Somebody said read the rest of the comment. I stopped. I got ADHD and I stopped too soon. Oh lordy. All right. Yes. Let's show them how to build the tools, and then after we show them how to build the tools, we can wrap up dialing 2 or 3 more community leads and dialing basically till somebody answers, and then I will be hopping at 6 Eastern, 3 PST, because I have a podcast with Kurt Dixon, who I was just telling you guys about, who is
love Kurt.
absolutely crushing it now.
All right, let's build something. Let's build something. I'm gonna share my screen again. Let me know if you can see it. You can see it?
Showing for
Type
me.
the chat. Yeah? Okay. Well, Andrew already built the calculator, so we don't have to do that. That calculator, Andrew said we typically give it away for $497.
I was joking, by the way. It's part of a $27 toolkit that we actually sell. I was joking.
That tool, though, if this was probably 2020 around that time, it would have cost us like realistically maybe like 4K to build.
Yeah, and
You
hours
get
and hours and hours for somebody to code.
Yeah, well, if you and I did it, it would take us forever.
Mhm.
But having a remote professional overseas in the Philippines or in India or something, the really smart tech guys, it probably would have cost around 4K.
Yes.
But now we can make these type of tools like with AI. And I don't want to show you how to make a calculator because you already got one. I want to show you guys how to make a website using English. Can you guys believe that?
Who's ready to be a 6-minute website developer?
Maybe 5 minutes. Let's build a website. A lot of people, and by the way, disclaimer, do you need a website to succeed in this business? No. But will you get people asking, hey, what's your website? Yes. And it is helpful. And I am sure that no one here wants to wait 4 months of development and put 12K into a developer to build out a site just for almost nobody to see it. But instead, I think you guys are more than happy to spend 5 minutes to make a website. So here's what I'm gonna do. Copy my prompt. I want you to build a highly converting landing page for my residential real estate investing business.
I just want to shout out. You're welcome, JC, Joanne, Lauren, Steve. I appreciate your gratitude. And something that you're going to find is we're giving away things as we're calling sellers, as we're negotiating deals. I want to just point out that Truka, we're a community that celebrates wins with others. And I love that because, often we'll close a deal or somebody will win $100 when we're giving away cash when we're together here. All the things happen. And you guys are the people we attract. I know the type of people you are because it's who we attract. It's what happens when we do these. Wrong people quickly fall off, but those who are the grateful, the encouraging those who are excited about other people's wins. This is a safe place to celebrate other people's wins and other people's growth and other people's checks. We'll be talking about other people's checks and hopefully, for the time's out, some of your checks that you're going to be putting together. But shout out to you guys.
Andrew, let's make it Christmas themed.
Oh, I like
Just
that
for
idea.
fun. With sparkles to represent the holiday season. All right,
Um,
here's the prompt I'm using. I want to build a highly converting landing page for my residential real estate investing business. My main strategy is buying on owner finance. My audience are sellers who are open to selling on payments. I want the copy, which is the copywriting, to show the benefits of selling on owner finance and talk about my company. Make the website Christmas themed, red and white with sparkles to represent the holiday season. Somebody type in their company name or like any name. I'm gonna name it.
Howie just typed in arigato.
Arigato. We just came back from Japan. All right, my company name is Elaine. Sell with less stress. I like it. SWLS. SWLS. All right, that's all I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna start it. While we're doing this, Andrew, they can either watch us awkwardly while AI does its thing, or we can keep chatting.
Awkward. Uh, what do you guys prefer? Chat or awkward silence? Chat, 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 chat. All right. Keep the votes coming in. Gonna be awkward. Somebody's like, silence, please. Oh, we got all chats. Something, Leo, I want to ask you, what's the biggest needle mover? You know, as we're going through, I'm calling live deals. I'm calling some of you have already submitted deals. Talk about that in a moment. But as we're hanging together these 12 days, what's the biggest differentiator you see from those who get contracts over the next 10, 20, 30, 60 days versus those who stay stuck in a loop?
Just showing up. Honestly, it is showing up, and the person that shows up and pays attention and says, "You know what? I know that I'll never be fully ready until I actually start." That's the type of person that wins. But the one who shows up for one day and tries to get some motivation and then doesn't show up for another 2 months is the person who always stays stuck.
Mm,
Me and Andrew, honestly, our job here is to make the business enjoyable for you guys, for our students.
yeah.
Because if you guys can keep showing, we don't want you to just show up for us, but we want you to know we enjoy the business. We really do enjoy being with you guys, and we like showing up. And for 12 days, sure, we can be running our business and doing what we do every day, or we can be here with you guys and show you guys how we show up and show up with high energy and continue to grow with you guys. And I think that's the biggest difference maker is the ones who are typing in the chat, showing up, and when we give the homework of how to find the deals, leads, and make the calls, they do it. They go and they make it happen. I
Some
think that's the biggest
questions we have
difference.
around this AI, Leo, is clarifying what website is this?
Oh, lovable.dev is right up here, guys.
And then another question is about the prompt.
The prompt is here. Here, I'm gonna type it in the chat. We're gonna make this easy. Boom. You can copy and paste that. Except don't make it Christmas themed, guys, or with sparkles. Somebody asked, what is Truka?
Oh, this is
Truka,
a good thing to answer.
Truka, well, outside of it being an education company, the idea of Truka and the name means transformation through the kingdom. You know, me and Andrew, we share our faith quite a bit. We're Christian men. We do our best to lead a good life, lead a godly life. And a lot of the principles that we teach in business come from one of the greatest books ever written, which is the Bible. And so, you know, while Truco, we don't plant and say, everyone, we're Christian, everyone come in Christians, so we can teach you this stuff. Instead, we teach some fundamental things in business through real estate. And I believe a lot of the principles, like the principles of giving, the principles of counting your flocks, the principles of continuing to renew your mind are biblical principles. And that's what we teach here at Truka. Same thing with gratitude. And that's what it means. Transformation through the kingdom. We believe in a transformation for individuals. It's
Something
taking
that
longer than usual.
that's okay. Means it's going to be better than usual.
That's right. Maybe it's because it's the first time I've asked it to make sparkly Christmas
Christmas theme.
decorations.
something something I think is powerful here as we get into live calls and we get into finding leads. Tomorrow, I'm going to have you getting free leads. And so make sure you're coming back there. And I share this because as Leo shares that, I love it. I thank God. I thank God for our brotherhood. I thank God for the community we get to lead. I thank God for everything. And for years, I'm
Where is
a
it?
preacher's kid. And so I've seen lots of things. And for years,
Whoa.
whoa,
You guys see this? Did it just pop up for you guys too?
yeah,
Ah, look at that. Sell your home on your terms with less stress. Hey, this is kind of cool. Holiday special. Get your cash offer before Christmas, Andrew. Do you guys see the little sparkly decorations that it made?
that's crazy.
That's pretty cool. Discover the smarter way to sell your property through owner financing. Get monthly payments, defer taxes, and close when you're ready.
By
No
the way, at the
repairs.
top of your screens, if you guys aren't seeing this yet, there's a tab that says webinar and there's a tab that says Leo Valentino's screen. So click on Leo Valentino's screen if you're not seeing the screen.
This is pretty cool. So the smarter way to sell your home, and it gives six. I didn't write any of this. All I said was the prompt that I gave, and it look at this. It creates a little pop up. You guys see that? You guys see the
That's
detail on
incredible.
this? Boom. This is stuff like right here, just for perspective. This little animation of something popping up, plus the snowflakes in the background, would take hours for a developer to do. This is cool. 4 easy steps to financial freedom. And it says start my free consultation. And you tap on it. Wow. You tap on
It's
it
crazy.
and it brings you to a landing page to put your name, your email to get your free offer. And I'm sure this doesn't lead to anything because we gotta build that out. But this would cost tens of thousands of dollars. Maybe half of that, maybe $5,000 to develop something like this. But I think it's more about the time. It would take 50, 60, 70 hours for someone to build this out. And now this took a few minutes. And someone asked, can I edit it? And yes, you can absolutely edit it by going back and chatting and just saying, hey, I want you to fix X, Y, and Z. That's cool. That's really cool, guys. Are you guys getting some value out of this? Type in the chat yes if this is cool. But outside of just being cool, if you're just getting value from some of the crazy things that are happening with AI. Good. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. You guys ready for live calls? Ready to make some live calls? With
I'm
the the
ready.
the, the real deal fundamental astronomical the real deal. Let's do it. Let's make some dials.
Something that I'll share two notes with you guys before we do this live dials. And I think this is um, going to be a game changer for you as we're hanging out together here. Our objective, as Leo and I was talking, is like, how do we to get on here and share? share 3 hours of brain dump information, we can absolutely do that. By the way, to our folks who are watching on YouTube today, just know we are pinning right now. We had those tech difficulties and did not get that set up. My assistant would be pinning that in the chat for you, but it's now pinned in the chat for you on YouTube too, the calculator that we gave away. So now all of you have it. And so something that I'll point out for you guys, though, as we're doing this and talking about God and money and, how do we really develop? Every one of you, I believe, are king's kid made in God's image for more than you've been living. And my thing when I got into this was I want to give back more. But coming from, of course, the background of being a preacher's kid, and I struggled for years. We didn't really talk about faith that much. Not that I was ashamed. I just always said I don't want to attract the religious weirdos. And I just want to bring in people and help them have a better life and a better relationship with God and realize that you're king's kids meant for more, made in God's image. And so over the last year and a half, if we evolve that and begin talking about the kingdom transformation, I think we've watched several people in the world around us begin to level up, to begin to be more impact driven. And something that I found, if you're making money for money's sake, it becomes very stressful because when stuff goes wrong, it's like, why the heck am I even doing this? Whereas when you're doing it for the greater mission, when you're doing it to get to your freedom number, to better care for your family, to give back, to help. How many of you, let me ask this question. How many of you watching right now believe that if you had an extra $10,000 to $30,000 a month, you would be able to do more good in the world? Give me a yes in the chat. Who here believes you would do more good? I'm sure the answer is yes. I'm getting lots of yeses. Of course the answer is yes. Why? Because you would do more good because it's who you are. I know, because it's who we attract. You would do more good in the world because you have more resources. Type it in the chat. Money is energy. Money is energy. And something you'll find as we dive into these live seller calls is we just ask questions. And when we start to ask better questions, we start to get better answers. And my prayer is that every one of you over these 12 days together start to experience a next level of opportunity and success. And if nothing else, even if, who here is going to help me accomplish our goal of you getting at least 12 contracts in 12 days? Who here is going to commit to at least doing the calls and getting some leads and doing the homework starting tomorrow? Yes. And that's the difference maker. How do we make sure that we're doing that? Maybe we'll greatly surpass that objective. But it's the ripple effect. It's the fact of saying, you know what? Maybe this is something I can do. Maybe this is something I can level up on. And so when we started talking about doing these 12 days, me and Leo are talking, and we'd done the 60 days to deals for our community back a couple years ago. We said, how do we really help everyone in our coaching community and mastermind? How do we help? If we had a gun to our head, how would I help every one of them to get a contract in the next 30 to 60 days? And so we started talking, and I said, well, gosh, if I could hang out with everyone for a week or two, maybe I could help impact them. And I know if me and Valerie hang out together for an hour a day for 12 days, we're contracting some houses. It's happening. If me and Stacy hang out for 12 days for an hour a day, we're contracting some houses. Like, it's just going to happen. Why? Because I am fully confident. I've done it hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. And so as we're talking about that, then we said, wait a minute, why don't we also live stream it? So the next tomorrow through the end of the year, every single day, minus Christmas and Sundays, we are live. So why don't we allow, while all of our coaching community is on Zoom with us and we're calling and negotiating deals together and chatting and talking, why don't we live stream it? So we can bring in another 70, 80, 100 people who get to watch and follow along, and everyone, coaching community and those watching and hanging out alike, are willing and able to experience the ripple effect and go get contracts. And I want, by the end of this, that we have at least 12 banging testimonials about contracts you got, and probably many more than that. And so I know, I'm fully confident, as long as you guys are willing to put in the effort to show up and to have conversations, that your life will begin to change. All right. So I see that Theo has submitted a lead. We're going to try Theo's lead and on West 15th. This lead came from a RIA meeting. I have some notes here. This has been with an agent. Overpriced. Now it's with a different agent. We did a price cut. What do you mean seller financing? All right. Sounds like a very unmotivated seller from the notes. So let's see if we can start off with a hard conversation. I love no's because it means we're one closer to a yes.
Great mindset, by the way. Everyone who's taking notes, chase the no. If 5 no's got you to a $20,000 check, who would chase the no? That mindset helped me out so much in the beginning because I did get rejected so many times, but it sucked. But then I was like, you know what? It's just a numbers game. The more rejections I get, the better I get at the business. Steve says,
Your call has
go.
been forwarded to voicemail.
If they don't answer, send a text that says, it's Andrew calling, interested in your house on X Street. When do you have a minute to talk? All right. We have Jason's lead. It's Maurice on Wisdom Peak.
Wisdom Peak.
Wisdom Peak. I called him yesterday on the deal room with Jason, and then he texted back afterwards.
Boom, 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 boom.
Your call has been forwarded.
I like the music. I'm going to try texting him since we had texted yesterday. Hey there. You free tomorrow, midday? Question mark. See if we can set up. By the way, write it down, take notes, type it in the chat. Schedule the follow-up. Schedule the follow-up. Your whole objective is, if you can't get somebody on the phone right now, schedule a follow-up. I have here, and you guys, all of you who are in the coaching community, we are going to be doing these dials. I know you're going to be submitting leads. You guys are getting so much value from the live calls. I have here some leads. Tomorrow, I'm going to show you how to get free leads because we are almost out of time. I'm not going to be able to go into that today. I have a couple of leads that I just recently got from the strategy I'm going to show you tomorrow. So I'm going to try a couple of those. Leo, you want to keep teaching while I keep dialing until somebody answers the darn phone?
Sure can, done. I want you to understand when you're watching Andrew make the calls, you're watching someone who's done it for 10 years. So don't compare yourself to Andrew's ability to make the calls, but emulate his confidence and emulate his mindset as he's making the calls.
Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
He just keeps going. The moment it's a no, or the moment that it doesn't pick up, he says next. Let's go to the next one.
If you record your name and reason for calling, I'll see if this person is available.
Andrew, about the Evansville house.
Thanks, Andrew. Please stay on the line.
It's an AI.
Crazy how many of them are now doing that.
Yeah. Oh, this is Anita.
Anita, it's Andrew calling you about the house you have listed for Talia, I think.
For Talia.
Talia. Okay, cool. How are you today?
I'm good.
Cool, cool.
Help you with.
Yeah, I was found it on Facebook and reached out, and she had sent me your number. What is the exact address on that one?
She told you, but it's already pending, and it's been pending for like 5 weeks, 4 weeks.
Oh, wow.
We're running into some trouble with her title, and she used to be. I'm just going to tell you a long story. To be in partnership with somebody else, and they've moved on, and we've gone to 3 title companies, and they're having trouble clearing the title. So the buyers, they're hanging on. They want to buy it, but we can't buy it without knowing that all the liens are taken care of.
Is it liens as in a former partner that may be able to claim ownership type of cloud, or is it like tax liens?
They've quit claimed it to her.
Oh.
They've quit claimed it, so that's not the problem. She has some City of Evansville back things. Those are easy. But they're trying to go through her bylaws, her S Corp docs, and there's certain things that before we can trust that, it's all good to go. So we're still working on that, and we're going to have to do an extension tomorrow because tomorrow was our closing day, and it's not going to happen tomorrow. So are you an investor or what?
Yeah. I buy 2 or 3 every month, mainly in Evansville, and this one caught my eye because I like that area. What's the chances? Is the buyer paying cash, or are they using money, borrowed money? Okay.
Yeah, they're doing cash.
Okay.
They're doing cash, and like I said, she started with a different title company. I finally got them moved to one that I work with a lot, just because they're going to tell me straight out what's going on. And so we're trying to get that all settled, and we haven't got that yet. So
okay. Should I follow up, or what should my action plan be?
Call in a week.
Okay, perfect. I'll talk to you in a week. Thanks. Merry Christmas. Bye.
Merry Christmas. Bye.
All right, schedule the follow-up. This is a house that I'm pulling it up right now. Went to Zillow, exactly what I do when I'm talking to sellers. I went to lot lines. If you go to the maps and you go to lot lines, I went down here and pulled it up. It looks like it's in an area where houses are selling. Of course, I happen to know the area. 2 houses down is selling for 136 or listed for 136. Another house looks like just sold for 140, and they're asking $35,000. Now, while we don't have all the details yet, who here thinks it's worth looking into if the seller is asking $35,000 and it's an area that's selling for 120, 130? Worth a conversation, right? Leo and I just bought a house this week. It's a $130,000 house. Guess how much we paid for it? It closed on Monday. Guess how much we paid for it? Type it in the chat. It needs $30K in rehab. It needs a complete clean out. All right. Good guesses. 22K. Ed says. Bridget says 10. Luis says 15. Now, you said, Andrew, you said you're going to teach boss flow. Yes. Always ask terms first. Except while you're hunting terms deals, you're going to find other leads. So we buy houses 2 ways. Payments over time, always our first priority. Secondly, cash way below value. We bought a house, closed it on Monday for $5,000. Oh my gosh, why? Number 1, it was a bank-owned property. Number 2, we bought it on what's called a quick claim deed. It had title issues. We will have title insurance on it by next week. Who here realizes that we are risking our $5,000? Yes, of course we are. No risk, no goodies. You guys tracking? But I done my research. So I was quite certain that we could get it cleared. My goodness. All right, we're running out of time. I have more leads now I want to call. I get in this mode. It's hard to stop, but I have a hard stop. Leo, what else should we be covering in our last 6 minutes before we set up, prep up for tomorrow?
We should be setting up what the expectations are over the next 12 days. What the outcome is, what the goal is, and what the homework is.
Yes.
Where do we start?
Perfect. So, you guys are asking, I was going to tell you this tomorrow, but I'm just going to give it to you today. I'm going to screen share and show you how tomorrow. So I'm getting ready to tell you what's going to be a 10-minute segment tomorrow. I'm going to give it to you in 3 minutes tonight or less. And if you can track, great. You can watch the reschedule. You can watch the replay. But come back tomorrow and I'll guide you through it. And you will have free leads before the end of the day tomorrow if you track. All right. So the first thing, for those of you who want a head start, do it tonight. Go to Facebook Marketplace and DM 10 people these words: interested in this property, have a couple questions, what's the best number to reach you? Go to Facebook Marketplace, choose your area that you want. We're going to talk tomorrow about how to pick your area if you need help with that. Type house for sale by owner and go message 10 houses that pop up, interested in this property, have a couple questions, what's the best number to reach you? That's step one. Step two, you're going to get back about 5 phone numbers. All right. Tomorrow, I'm going to start talking to you about how to have conversations with those. And on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. On Saturday, I am going to be breaking down the opening call. We're going to talk about the opening call and the closing call. So your homework tonight, we're going to be giving away cash. We're going to be giving away prizes. We're going to be having fun. We're going to be negotiating and closing deals live. You're going to hear many more seller calls over these 12 days. We're going to be giving step-by-step instructions. If you have Facebook, go on Facebook Marketplace tonight. If you're not sure how to do it, I'll show you tomorrow. DM 10 people interested in this property, have a couple questions for the best number to reach you. And then for those of you who don't have Facebook or aren't sure how to do that, just Google house for sale by owner. Go to your Google tab, house for sale by owner, type in a city and state. I like the Midwest. I'm going to talk tomorrow about why I like the Midwest. And go to Zillow.com, meaning house for sale by owner, your city and state. There'll be the Zillow pop up. I click on it and it pulls up all the FSBOs in that city and state. Go find the phone numbers and get 5 phone numbers. That's the objective. The action steps tomorrow. We're going to deep dive, screen share, show you how to get 5 phone numbers. Of course, we're going to dial them, dial some numbers. And then Saturday, we're going to come back and we're going to deep dive into how to have conversations if you're not sure. All right. So for those of you who are experienced, get a head start. Go get FSBOs for sale by owners to start having conversations with. For those of you who are new and need a step-by-step guide, I will make sure I cover that tomorrow before we get to the most exciting part, which is what? Get into contracts. Type it in the chat, GTFM. What's that mean? Get the freaking money, baby.
Let's go. That was a fast 3 hours, Drew.
We're just getting started.
I know. I got to stretch. We got 12 more days of rocking and rolling. I'm excited to be with you guys. This was fun. Did everyone enjoy this? Was this 3 hours not the coolest thing? I had fun. Andrew, you have fun?
I had a blast, man. I always love it when you teach AI. I love just hanging out with you. Just being brothers and chilling's fun. And now we get to do it with 145 other people live with us and build momentum and energy. What excites me about this, Leo, is the ripple effect of this. Because what you and I are hanging out here talking about and doing today, I know that Tammy and Kevin and Janet and Valerie and Tam and Lynn and Steve and some of you on here, you're going to start taking action on this. Some of you, again, by the end of tomorrow, you follow instructions, you're going to have free leads. By the end of this week or the first of next week, you will have had 3 to 5 meaningful seller conversations. And some of you, before the end of Christmas week, are going to have contracts if you follow the instructions. How cool is that? All right.
If you were asking for the replay, if you go to Andrew's YouTube, it will be in his live section that you can go back.
If you didn't subscribe, go do it.
You didn't subscribe. Sorry about it. Guys, this was fun. This was really, really enjoyable. And we will be back tomorrow
At noon.
at noon PST.
3 EST.
That's right. Same time, same place.
All right.
All right.
See you
We'll
guys
see
tomorrow.
soon.
Have a wonderful evening. Bye for now.
Peace out, Drew.
See you, brother.